What's the smartest way you've ever tested your daughter's boyfriend? I once pretended I didn't speak English for half a year and listened to everything he said when he thought I couldn't understand a word. My daughter Lena started dating this guy Mark last spring. Good-looking kid, overly polite from the start. He'd show up with chocolates, offer to take out the trash, call me sir, every 5 seconds. It all felt a little too polished. I was born in Portugal and moved here when I was 11. I don't have an accent anymore, but I've always kept my Portuguese sharp. One night at dinner, Lena mentioned that Mark was taking Spanish to satisfy a language requirement. That's when a sneaky idea formed. The next time Mark came over, I acted like I barely knew English. I smiled, nodded, and spoke Portuguese while Lena translated. I told Mark I'd had some health issue that affected my speech. Lena looked at me later like I'd lost my mind, but she agreed to help. For the first few weeks, Mark was the picture of patience. Polite, helpful, using a translation app on his phone. But by month 2, little cracks appeared. When Lena left the room, he'd mutter, "This food is awful. How long is this going to take?" Once he quietly exaggerated an accent I wasn't even doing. I just smiled and offered more dinner. On Lena's birthday, Mark brought a fancy necklace that probably cost a couple $100. Later, I overheard him on the phone outside. "Yeah, I swapped out the cheap one. Her family's got money. Gotta look like I fit in." Money? We have a modest 3-bedroom house and a 2014 Honda. That's it. A few weeks later, Lena was working a late shift at the hospital. She's in nursing school. But Mark came by saying he left his keys. I let him in, still doing my broken English act. While I pretended to be focused on a Portuguese soccer match, Mark took pictures of our mail, peeked into my file drawer, and even photographed our old investment paperwork. So the next week, I accidentally left some fake bank statements showing we were in serious debt sitting on the kitchen counter. 3 days later, Mark told Lena he needed space. When he came over to explain himself, I finally dropped the act. "I've spoken English fluently for more than 30 years, I said. Almost as long as I've known how to spot someone trying to use my daughter." Mark's face went white. Lena pulled out her phone and played a recording from the week before. "Her dad can connect me with one of his doctor friends. Then I'm set." Mark tried to claim I misunderstood. "Maybe your English isn't that good," he said. Lena held up his phone. He left it unlocked earlier. "And these texts about milking my rich family for connections? Misunderstood too?" Mark snatched the phone, called Lena dramatic, called me manipulative, and stormed out. Lena cried, but the next morning she hugged me and said, "Better 6 months of finding out than a lifetime of being fooled." Mark is now dating the daughter of a local auto dealer. Lena's with a guy from her nursing cohort now. His name's Daniel. He brings her homemade banana bread instead of fancy gifts and talks to me the same way whether she's in the room or not.